I'm sure everyone goes through a phase in their life where they listen to music and have a favourite band, and everything by that band is the absolute best thing they've ever heard. And if that favourite band ever expresses an opinion that involves disliking another artist, you also dislike that artist, just because your favourite band said so. And then, as you get older, you form opinions for yourself and realise that perhaps your favourite band weren't as good as you thought they were, or that these terrible musicians were actually alright. At least I hope everyone went through that phase, because I certainly did. And that is what I'll be talking about today. Songs that I've changed opinions on. Fall Out Boy were the band that got me into emo music. And yes, I know they're not strictly emo, but who cares? Everyone classes them as emo anyway. So they were my favourite band back in 2015, and I loved absolutely everything that they put out. They could do no wrong. And the reasons for my liking of 4th of July are this. I love Fall Out Boy so much, they are the best band ever, and this song is about Mikey Way and I totally should Peaky. Oh my god. Yes, I was that fangirl. But things have changed. I have come up with my own opinion that isn't just based around the fact that I absolutely loved Fall Out Boy. No. I've realised that perhaps this song isn't the masterpiece I thought it was. Now, the first thing that I dislike about this track is the vocals. To me, they feel strained and weak and just altogether far too high. Now, Patrick Stump has a fantastic voice and it is very pleasant to listen to, particularly when he uses it in his low end. But they didn't choose to do that on this song. He sings very high in this and it's almost uncomfortable. And what adds to that is the use of EQ. In a pop track, it is very, very common to boost the high frequencies around 6 kilohertz on a vocal to give it an airy sound, which is apparently what people like to listen to in songs. I don't. As I said, I just think it sounds strained and weak, and you can particularly hear this at the end of the phrase, "What did it ever mean to you?" The U just doesn't have any power to it, and you'd expect a note like that to really ring out and have emphasis, and this just doesn't. It just falls completely dead. Patrick Stump has an excellent voice. He should use it. And another thing I really don't enjoy about this track is the use of the hi-hat. It is relentless throughout the whole song. It never stops, it never changes. And honestly, I think it's been mixed far too loud. Once you notice that it's there, that's all you can hear in the song. And I feel that this track would benefit from having the hi-hat volume lowered and not be as overbearing. And on the same vein as the vocals and the hi-hat, I feel that there are just far too many high frequencies in this song. The vocals, the cymbals, and the counter melody in the instrumentals all take up a similar frequency range and fight and compete for that area. And it's just, I don't want to say overbearing again because I've said that before, but that is exactly what it is here. It all just melts into one blob of unpleasant, grating high frequencies. Now, of course, I don't think this song is all bad. It's definitely not the worst song I've heard by any means. I mean, have you listened to any mumble rap lately? And I think that the bridge on this song is actually really good. It's very effective how the instrumentals drop out and build back in again. Like, you can really tell it's building up to something. And unfortunately that something is a lackluster chorus, but never mind, the bridge itself is good. Overall, I'd probably give this song about a 4 out of 10 because it's by no means the worst song that I've ever heard in my life, but it's definitely not good. Does the phrase mediocre with a god complex ring any bells to you? Yes, the next song we're talking about is Beerus by KSI, which, yeah, on a bit of a different vein from Fall Out Boy. But hey, I listen to a lot of music. Initially, I didn't like this song. And you may be thinking, ooh, what interesting musical opinions do you have as to why you didn't like it? None. Nothing at all. I didn't like it because I'm a fan of Quadeca. I listened to Insecure, and that just reaffirmed every existing opinion I thought I had about KSI. You know, he's a bad rapper, he thinks too much of himself. He's not all that, you know? And that means that I didn't even bother listening to Beerus. I thought, well, what's the point? It's just going to be rubbish. It's like, why should I listen to this? And then came the time for me to finally listen to Beerus. And I still didn't like it. I thought the chorus was really boring, and I agreed that, yeah, he thinks too much of himself, definitely.
It's mediocre with a god complex.
Quadeca was right, enough said. And that brings me to the opinions that I hold now. It's actually quite good. What exactly do I like about this song? If we start with vocals, I like Randolph. I think he's great. Loads of people give him shit for his accent and his vocal style, but I think it's interesting. I'm a really big fan of regional accents. I think they make people's voices so much more interesting. Like, there are too many YouTube rappers who are just American or from London, so that's great. Love Randolph. And then it comes to KSI himself. Now, I thought this chorus was dead boring when I first heard the song, and for quite a few times after. But then, upon actually watching the video and realising the, I guess, almost concept behind it, I think these vocals work really well. When you listen to the chorus, the inflection is quite lifeless. I really think that works well with the storyline. The fact that JJ is being created by Randolph in a lab to become this godlike creature. Another thing I really like about the chorus, or, well, it's more of a hook actually, it's not strictly a chorus, but what I really like about that is the fact that the instrumental drops out for that bit. There's loads of interesting things going on throughout Randolph's verse, and then suddenly, nothing. It's just one solitary line and JJ's vocals over the top. And it creates a really different atmosphere compared to what we heard in the verses. And that's so dramatic and effective as it goes in, really builds up the tension and so much interest. And gradually the instruments are added back in and it builds up until the verse comes back around again. And I don't know, that's just really cool. And of course, the verses are fantastic. Both of them are excellent. And I particularly like the opening few lines of JJ's verse. I really like the placement of the word whoa in this section because it switches up the pace and provides variety in amongst all the fast rapping, and it makes for a really interesting listen. Another really interesting thing about the beat is the use of silence. It's the words that this happens on that's really effective. Randolph says the line, "Say my name," and that's when the beat drops out, which is really emphatic and an excellent place to cut out the music because it draws attention to the line. It's one of the standout quotes from the show Breaking Bad. The musical choices on this line just give it so much more drama and emphasis, and it's great. You can hear really clearly during the verses a switch up between high and low. You hear the main melody, which is this. And that's low, mid-range. But then, every few bars, it changes, and that's played the same melody, just higher. So often you hear in rap songs that the beat is just the same the whole way through, absolutely no variation, and it's so boring, and one of the main reasons why I don't really listen to rap music. But this is actually interesting, music-wise, as well as lyrically and vocally, which is great. Like, Good for them, I prejudged you. Sorry. Now, some of the lyrics I'm not as keen on, particularly the repeat of na 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 in JJ's verse. Yes, it breaks up the flow, but I'm not sure it necessarily works. Another thing I'm still not so keen on is the outro. I feel it goes on a bit too long and just drags a bit towards the end. It surprised me how many good points I had when I was making my notes on this. It genuinely shocked me how much I enjoy this song. So for the rating, I'd probably give this song a 7 out of 10 maybe, because I really enjoy it. It's actually musically really good, and I'm still surprised about my opinions on this. It's nothing like what I'd usually listen to. So there we have it, my review on 2 songs that I completely 180'd my opinion on. And I really hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, that would mean a lot. And there'll be another review up next week, and also a mashup of sorts that I will play a snippet of now. I made it because I was bored one night, and I think you'd really enjoy it. See you in the next video.